Hi everyone, welcome to day 2 of our journey through Isaiah chapters 40 to 55, the servant king passages, and as we look at this beautiful poem together as we lead up towards Easter. Unfortunately Kirsty can't be with us today, but I'm standing in for her, and we're going to look particularly at the opening section, chapter 40 verses 1 to 11. If you happen to have a Bible at home, or you can access a Bible on your device or whatever, please have a read through this particular passage. Many of the great songs of the church are based on some of these words. The passage begins really as an introduction to the whole of the rest of the poem. It's a bit like going through the door of a great building. And here is a picture of Petra and the entrance to the great city. What will we find when we go through the door of that particular building? It's a bit like the TV programme going through the eye of the keyhole. And what will we find in this particular house? Well, when we explore this particular house, the key thing is in the opening very line of the poem itself, chapter 40. O comfort, my people, says the Lord. These are amazing words because they're not just then the whole message of what we're going to look at over the next couple of weeks as we lead up to Easter. It's the fact that this is the message of the whole gospel and of indeed God's message to the world, both in the past but also now in the present, as we look to Easter and we look to a future beyond Easter of what the world might look like after, hopefully, this lockdown and indeed the pandemic. God speaking his words, not just of comfort as in it'll all be all right, but much more than that. And this is where what Tom Wright has to share with us is very helpful. The first thing is he speaks about the idea that God will actually want to build a new community with us. This is great news. He's not coming to condemn or to judge. He comes to build and to heal. And that's a wonderful message. He wants us to experience a new creation, his way of life, his love, and his possibilities. How will he do that? Well, this is the second thing. He's going to come in person himself. How do we know he's coming in person? Well, there's a wonderful image in verses 3 to 5, which he talks about making the hills low, raising up the valleys, making straight the highway for the Lord. But in addition to that, he talks about his very glory will be amongst us. In the Jewish tradition, this is called the Shekinah, and the Shekinah has a particular meaning. But that was actually a later understanding of things. The original understanding went right the way back to the tabernacle, where Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 10 commandments and the tablets of stone, and he built a dwelling place, a meeting place between the people, himself and God. And this was the place where God's glory was revealed, to the point where actually Moses' face glowed whenever he went in to be in the presence of God. This is the same idea of what God is wanting to do with us, not to stay aloof from humanity or creation during these times, but actually to come and dwell with us. What will he be like when he does come and dwell with us? Well, he's going to be like a shepherd king. The very end of the passage today, verses 10 and 11, speak about the fact that on the one hand he's going to come as a king, strong and mighty, but he's also going to come as someone who is tender like a shepherd, who cares for the sheep and for the lambs. And of course that points us to the person of Jesus himself, describing himself in John's Gospel as the shepherd king, the one who will lay down his life for the sheep. Strangely, it's through forgiveness, through healing, that we will indeed end our exile of the hard-heartedness and indeed our loneliness, not just during this pandemic, but indeed deep inside who we are in our alienation from God and from one another. So I come back to the picture we looked at yesterday, this incredible picture of Rembrandt's prodigal son, but really should be called the compassion of the Father, because this whole episode of the opening of this chapter reveals the very heartbeat of God, someone who loves humanity and creation passionately, wants to restore his relationship with us, and who then we can understand says, "Comfort, oh comfort my people." Have a good rest of the day. God bless. Bye for now.